What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is New York rapper Lord Sko. We spoke about Violent Night, The Big Lebowski, our favorite Coen Brothers movies, King of New York pizza, food in LA, bridging age and subgenre gaps in rap music, taking his first two projects off the internet, his general creative process, and the making of his breakout projects 2022's Museum and this year's United Palace. Come fuck with us. There's no slice of pizza that you can buy like below. Man, I don't even know. Like
let's be careful here though, right? Wait. Below where though? I'm gonna let you finish.
Damn, I'm trying to think. Like, damn. No, let me take that back. There's great slices of pizza everywhere, but I'm just talking like specifically in Midtown Manhattan. Like I'm a dollar pizza person, so maybe I need to be
the dollar slice. Hold it down, my G. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I had 4 of them shits last night. I'm not even gonna front, but like I just know like outside of dollar pizzas, like I'm not going to a Sbarro. Like if I'm in the city, I'm not going to a Sbarro. Like, there's no reason for that shit. I'm not paying $7.50 for like a slice of pizza and a bottle of water. Like fuck you.
Yeah, that shit tastes mad greasy and like that's like stadium. That's like you get Sbarro at like the arena. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly.
That's like stadium pizza. That's like mall pizza. That's like food court situation right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, like I'll buy that when I go to the Barclays or some shit or like the Garden. I don't think they even sell that.
I might just go for the dollar slice before I go up in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. If you could smuggle a dollar slice anywhere, like where would you take a dollar slice that you're not supposed to take a dollar slice? Because I got a couple ideas in my head. But
I'm gonna be so real. It's my answer is Los Angeles for sure. I'm smuggling that shit in the plane, taking it in my luggage, taking it all the way there. Because my rule that I never break as a New Yorker is that I don't eat LA pizza ever, no matter how long I'm there for. I don't care that they got Prince Street pizza there now. I don't care that they got Joe's pizza there. I don't care if it's the same recipe. I'm not eating it over there. It's not. I don't trust it. It's not for me. I mean, I'm gonna come back. My first stop will always be L&B Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn. I mean, I'm gonna get me a nice thick slice of square tomato greatness, and then I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna do that in LA. That's not. I'll go out in LA. You know what I mean? I'll eat Mexican food. Fucking
right.
80% of the days I'm there, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? They got some good noodles, got some whatever, you know what I mean? Like they got good eats in LA, but I'm not eating the pizza out there. I like Philippe's out there too. You been to Philippe's? Yeah.
Never. Not yet.
You never been to Philippe's?
Nah, I don't even know what that is, honestly.
Oh, yo, it's like they went there on Fuck That's Delicious, but it's like they invented the French dip sandwich.
Oh shit, okay.
It's fire. They make like roast beef sandwiches with like mad like juice on them, just or whatever it's called on the bread.
Yeah,
Swiss cheese on it. It's good. That's like some New York shit you would find. I like going there because it feels like some East Coast shit, but it's out in LA. You know what I mean? But it's dope. I like that a lot. That's a good spot. I had a lot of Asian food when I was out there last time. You know what I did have that was also really good? I had an oxtail rigatoni while I was
oxtail rigatoni.
With like it was like Italian. It was like a, you know what I'm saying, like a spicy rigatoni. You know what I mean? Like Italian food, but made with oxtail. Oh my God, it was one of the best like plates I've ever had. Honestly, it was really good. It was like some, I don't even remember what the spot was called. I promise I'm not trying to gatekeep. I went there with Dante, but it was like some like new age little spot. It was that was a good plate of food right there though.
So how much you pay for that? Because like oxtail rigatoni sounds like it's going for $20 of $20 a pack, bro.
You know who paid for that was Dante Ross and the what's it called? I don't even remember, but the publishing of Elektra Records. You know what I mean? That's what paid
Incredible.
For that. what's the
Nah,
word?
shout out.
Royalties,
That's
royalties. The
yeah.
royalties. You know what I'm saying?
There
The
it
De
is.
La Soul and Brand Nubian royalties. If he got his cut on those, you know what I mean?
Stop,
That's what paid.
man. Shout out to Balloon Mind State for paying for your lunch. That's kind of crazy. That's a flex right there.
Yeah,
I,
man. You know what
I
I mean?
fuck with
Shout out to
that.
the legendary Dante Ross, man. You know what I mean? One of the most solid in the industry for real. You know what I mean?
Every time I've never met Dante, but I've heard nothing but good things. Obviously, bro's a legend. I actually had it written down that I was gonna bring him up later, but either way,
Nah, it's all good.
before no, sorry, what?
I said we'll circle back. It's all good.
Yeah, no, totally. Before I forget, I've only been to LA one time in my life. It was in 2018. I went out there to shoot I was a part of a. Oh, it's actually I could talk about it now. It's been out. My man Larange, my friend Zach, he made a documentary about the producer Larange called The Mad Writer. They put it out this year, and they flew me out there in 2018 to like be a part of it and shit. So he was like, you could just make your return ticket for whenever you want, and I was like, I want to spend 2 days in LA. Never been here before, so I never I went to Jack in the Box, got Jack in the Box, amazing. I didn't see any pizza while I
You didn't
was in
get in and
LA.
out?
No, see, my mom lives in Texas, and they got In and Out in Texas.
Oh,
So I've
okay, all right.
so like
So you
I
good. Yeah,
see,
you good. You didn't need
and
to you didn't need to explore.
let me say on here, because I know people have been talking about this a lot. In and Out is fine. Y'all got to stop hating. In and Out is fine. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The burgers are good. The fries are good. You can get them
Yo,
animal style. Like
so
anywhere you could get a burger that's animal style with the onions. Like I'm not mad at
yeah,
that. I don't
I
know.
ain't mad,
Like it's
bro.
fine to
Look,
me.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I gotta say, the first time I went out there was a little bit of a culture shock because I thought like In and Out was like y'all pride and joy, you know. And I went out there and I was like, da 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 da. You know, I was like, oh yeah, you know. And one of the first things I'll be like, yeah, food. Da da. People be like, oh, you been In and Out? I'd be like, nah, I ain't been yet. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you gotta go. And I'd be like, all right, yeah. And then they'd be like, yeah, but don't expect nothing crazy, but you gotta go. Like, I mean, it's like mad funny. Like mad people were like, yeah, like, you know, it's no better than like a Five Guys or someone said it's like barely better than McDonald's, which was crazy to say. But I agree that
Yeah.
it's like it might be like it's like in my opinion, it's like a slight tier below Five Guys, but it's also like a third of the fucking price because
Yeah, I was
Five
about
Guys
to say, yeah.
is crazy. So I shit on a road trip to San Francisco, I crushed two of them joints back to back, double animal styles. You know what I mean?
See, you go. Yeah, nah, man. Because like a Five Guys burger, that's like a down payment on a house right there. I used
Yeah,
to work
that's
right next to it. I used to work right next to a Five Guys, and I went twice, and I think the second time I went, I spent $13 on a burger, fries, and a drink, and I was like, I'm never doing this shit again. It was good, but just on principle, I'm not doing that shit. It
yeah,
was it,
yeah.
was- it was on West 34th. I'll never do that shit again.
Hey
But
man, hey, and that was probably like what, like 2014 pricing? What?
it was 20. Oh, what year? It was 18. I got let go in 2019. So it was like sometime between 2018 and 2019.
Okay, yeah,
So
but
like,
I mean, shit, like you
yeah,
better not want to shake there. God forbid, man. You
like,
might put down a dub for a shake, a burger, and some fries. You putting down like 20 beans right there. Home, you know what I'm saying?
nah, that shit is too real. But so for me, the burger place that I never get to go to that I love whenever I get to go to it, I love Whataburger. Like, like whenever I'm in Texas, I gotta go to
So
Whataburger.
I had Whataburger, but you know what I did try yesterday, which was absolutely phenomenal, was
What?
the Trail Burger.
Oh, I
Incredible.
saw you. Yo, I'm so jealous. Tell me
Yo,
about your experience with the Trail Burger.
oh my God. I knocked down two of them joints yesterday. I had it for lunch and for dinner. So I was out there recording with Bun B and Static for Trail Static 3. Um,
Incredible.
coming out Friday, which I don't know when this interview's coming out, but it's coming out.
Next week. This is coming from the past. This is coming out
Okay,
next week.
yeah. So it'll already be out. I'm on there with CJ Fly, Bum B, production by Static. But yeah, it was a really good time, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of weed. I literally just ate shrooms, trail burgers, drank tequila, and smoked Astor Club weed all day. So it was pretty good. I hung out with some cool rappers. I met Method Man, was chilling with Rome Streets, my man
Hey,
Fly. It's always just good to be in the building. You know what I mean? Just feel the energy. It was a good vibe up in there. You know what I mean? So, Talib Kweli was there. A lot of people, yo. It was definitely legendary. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, them burgers was, woof, yo. I ain't gonna front, man. Them shits was definitely next level. And I'm not even a huge like smash burger type of dude, but yeah, that sold me on it, man. I ain't gonna lie, like that was the best
Damn.
smash burger I ever had. I was telling Bun, I was like, yo, we need the New York location ASAP, man.
Honestly, yo, like I've been so jealous of everybody who's been able to go to the stores and to go to like Energy Stadium. Like I always see the videos of them filming people. Like I saw the Juvie one, the Tyler
Yo,
one,
I'm
and I'm
not
just
gonna lie,
yo.
it's like a really, really incredible burger. Like it's a really good burger. And I'm not even trying to gas it. Like
Nah, I feel you.
everybody there who had it was like, Jesus Christ, Bun. Like, what the hell? Like, this is so good. Like, it was like, you know what I mean? And like, it was really good. Like, it wasn't just the hype thing. Like, Trill Burgers, that's it right there.
That's hard, man. Yeah, no, like I was telling my girl about it maybe like a month ago, and even they were like I need one of them Trill burgers. Like I'll be like because they've been seeing the videos, then like they don't follow all this shit like we do. So to have Desiree be like, I need
Like,
a Trill burger. I'm like, this is the love is real,
like
man.
people would swiping up, like, yo, what the hell? Like, how'd you get one? I was like, the secret is untold until now.
Type shit.
Mhm.
Damn. Fucking welcome back to Real Notes, y'all. It's been so long since I've done a cold open on this shit. Like I be trying to do them, but sometimes I just forget. But either way, this is we're inching up on the season finale. I think it's gonna be. I don't remember what order these are coming out in, but where this is like part of the last three sprint. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the support all year. It's
Yeah.
Dylan Green, CineMasai, got a lot of names, do a lot of shit outside, inside, all sides, holiday shopping sides. But
Uh-huh.
I'm with somebody today who's also been doing a lot of shit. He's had a crazy fucking year. He's had a
Thank
crazy last like year and a half, 2 years to be completely honest. But like
you.
this year, of course, bro. Like this is like I don't know, man. Like Washington Heights' finest rapper, fucking burger aficionado now, fucking oxtail
Endorser.
rigat oxtail rigatoni, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking Lord Sko is here, bro. Fucking
Man,
United Palace has been out for a while. Go check it.
yes.
It's great. Sko, man, thank you so much for
Hey,
being
man, it's
here, bro.
an honor, and thank you so much. I'm very honored and happy to be here chopping it up with you today, my man.
Nah, man, that means a lot. You know, like you and I first connected, I think earlier this year when you sent me Museum, and I was just like, like I was just listening to it, and I know I don't want to dwell on this too much because I know you don't like to talk about it, but I didn't know until like 2 hours ago that you're not even 20 years old. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, like I know you talked about it a bunch, and we don't got to dwell on it, but like I
I
was
mean,
just
look,
like,
it's look, bro. It's definitely part of my identity and it's part of my appeal. So I'm not trying to like downplay it in that sense, but I just think, I don't want to ever let another person try to have something over me in that type of way. Not even like that, but just, I'm a competitive dude, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's like I'm not ashamed to be my age. Like I'm lit, bro. Like I keep up with the OGs. They be like, damn, you know what I mean? Like this young bull serious. So it's just, I just don't want people to think they got a certain edge on me for certain reasons, which they might, because that's a valid reason. A lot of experience comes with age, but
of
I
course.
like listen to my shit and I'm rapping better than a lot of dudes who's like fucking been rapping for as long as I've been alive for. So.
Yeah, man, and yeah, like we're gonna get into it later because it's something I really wanted to touch on. But just like like I'm just big on cross generational everything. Like things don't need to be. I mean, like obviously, like skill and experience comes with age and all that, like you said. But it's just like important for people to, like it's just important for the conversation to not stop. Like it, like just because like someone's younger or older, like that shit's never
100%.
mattered to me. I came up, like I came up under a bunch of OGs who put me on game,
Right.
and that's all I want to do is just like keep that conversation. Like that's how we all thrive that way. Like we all thrive off of just like having conversations with the young and the older. It's just like, you know, the shit gets stagnant if we don't do stuff like this, you
Right.
know, and that's
KRS said that, you know what I'm saying? KRS One
um,
said, you know, when the old dudes hang with the young dudes, they start moving quicker than the old dudes who don't. And when the young dudes who's building with the old dudes, they start moving quicker than the young dudes who don't, you know. So it's a beautiful thing.
right.
I also feel like, you know, I feel like it made me, you know, and I wasn't really old enough to really understand it, but it made me kind of like upset when there was that whole like mumble rap versus real rap thing.
Oh
Cause
my
like,
God.
yo, like, cause like, bro, like I like both. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
for me, like I wasn't like trying to pick a side necessarily, you know what I'm saying? And like I like that to me, I think left a bad taste, and it still leaves a bad taste in a lot of OGs' mouths about how the younger dudes move. And you know, I think like now it's kind of like people are kind of just like, all right, we're gonna both do our own things, and it's gonna be that. But there's still not enough crossover and I think interaction and camaraderie shown between that. You know what I mean? Especially just because it's like I don't know. And it's weird with hip hop too, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm
Yeah.
also saying this, it's like nobody compares rock artists. Like nobody's like indie rock versus punk rock versus hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's doing that. Like, but for some
Right.
reason, people are always like wanting to compare trap to like, you know, like 90s artists. So and it's also just different because it's like regional and it's like all that type of stuff
Right.
that, like goes
Yeah.
to it. So it's like there's not, you know, like yeah, like there's like they're like the best rappers of all time, undisputably, you know, people who rap the best. But it's like, you know, people are also the best at certain things, you know, and it's you gotta admire people's skill sets for what they are and for what purposes they serve, even if it's not
Exactly.
for you to, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, and you gotta be like, all right, objectively, I see why people like this, even if I don't. And you know, you could also just be like, this is trash, this is garbage, this should never sell, nobody should ever buy this record. And that's also a valid perspective to have if you really are disgusted by that music, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, there's not enough like building between them. And I'm really trying to help change that too, you know what I'm saying? Just off the fact that I'm blessed to have two OGs and both of my managers, you know what I'm saying? Like dudes
Yeah.
who've been in the game for a long time. So when I get to have discourse with dudes like that and I get to be involved in their circles, that's really important for me because I'm also like representing for the younger dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to show them like, you know, the kids are you know what I'm saying? Like it's not you know, like we're in good hands, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be all right, you know.
Right. I feel you. And like I remember like around 2016, like to your point, I discovered Thugs Barter Six and West Side Guns Fly God like all in the same week.
Like that's
So
crazy.
like you you
You know what
you,
I'm
you,
saying?
you know like those two things like I don't know. I've just never really been I mean like excuse me. I was kind of sort of like that in high school, but I got over that shit real quick as soon as I got to college and I was like I was tripping like everything's cool like it like I'm not going to go over my whole trajectory here, but like
Right.
like I start like I've I've gone through a crazy journey as a rap fan and a rap writer and a rap journalist, podcaster, whatever the fuck you want to call me. But like I'm just blessed to be at a point in my life where I feel like I'm just so ready to just like I'm just ready to take in everything, and like a lot of people can't say that because you're like around your 30s is when stuff starts to like solidify and like like they say that people tend to crawl like dig deeper into the trenches that they built as opposed to like branching out and exploring. But just like like I mean like last night I was at 10K Mike's label, like all of them, like they're amazing at what they do, like they're
I
incredible
feel
at
like
like
they also kind of sorry not to interrupt, but
no, you're
they
good.
they do like a really good job, I think, at kind of showing like both sides. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like they got like a very young energy to their shit. You know what I mean? Like a very like you know, like almost on some like trap shit, but like the shit they're saying has a lot of content to it. You know what I mean? And it's like
yeah,
also are rapping on like Alchemist beats at the same time. So it's like you can't
right.
really say it's not like real hip hop, like because they love saying like it's not real hip. Like real
Right.
hip hop. Like, bro, nah, I hate like that. That's like the worst. Like, what's fake hip hop? You know,
Yeah, like
like I don't, like yeah, it could be like trap music or drill or like that's not fake hip hop. That's just drill music or you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers,
right.
yeah, it
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
be real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like shut the
yeah,
fuck.
nah.
I hate that
Like
so much.
I
And like
feel you, bro.
and people also call me real hip hop all the time, which and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get it, and I'm not trying to like talk down on that either. But I just think like in order to advance and to see for real hip hop fans to see that the hip hop that they want to win, like they can't shut off the other side. Like they need to be open to the fact that there needs to be like some sort of mix, you know what I mean? And
Right.
that's what's gonna be able to take it from it you needing to feel like it's this like underground thing that people are like. I feel like the thing is like a lot of hip hop fans that like lyrical rap feel like everything's against them. It's like, nah, it's not against you. It's like, we have our own world, like, and it's really cool. Like we're all doing good, like and they're doing good too. It's not, and of course it's natural to want to compete, but like, I feel like you almost competing with too many things at once. Like we got to compete with each other. Who's going to be the best in this lane? I'm saying you can't be worried about Playboy Cardi. Like,
Right. And then, like on top of that, like everyone's definition of what it means to be lyrical is so different, like there's like, like to me, like, like V's put out one of my favorite albums of the year. And like, I would argue that he's extreme. I would argue that he's extremely lyrical, but he's not like, like people, like when people say lyrical, they tend to mean shit that's like super duper intricate and got like a crazy amount of syllables. And that's great. Like, I like that type of shit, but also like,
that's
like,
like favorite shit. Like that's like I would assume that's some of your favorite shit too. And like we know,
yeah.
like we just got to be like open to bigger horizons. One of my favorite rappers is G Herbo. Like I love G Herbo. Like I think
Herbo's nuts.
he's so great. You know what I mean? And but he be saying like ill shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and like like. But like, yeah, like Herbo is dope though. Like that's one of the first people I want to like do a record with when I really get some like budget in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Herb's a legend, bro.
Facts.
Man, this has already been so great. But before I forget, let's fucking talk
Also,
about what
my
happened.
fault. I just want to give a thing just to say I apologize if I be interrupting. It's just like I'd be excited to engage in that conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'd be people sometimes be like, yo, why you interrupting? I'm like, yo, I just want to talk. Like, I'm saying, like, I'm excited. Like, I love music. Like,
You're good, bro. This is a This is all it is. This is a conversation, and I'm just happy that you want to do this. So it means a lot.
sure.
Um, but yeah, no, I just forgot. Like, we got to talk about movies before we get too deep into the music. So
Let's
what
get
was
it. Stacey season.
son? What was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Okay, that's a good question. All right. So I actually watched two of these movies in the same night. I watched Violent Night, which I thought was actually brilliant. It was really good in my opinion. And I watched you ever heard of the Boondock Saints?
Of course I have. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
watched both of those in the same night. Violent Night was dope. I don't have you ever seen it?
Is that the one that came out this year? Because is it the one with that was made by why can't I remember
John
his
Wick,
name?
right?
John
John
Woo, right?
Woo. Yeah, it might have been John Woo. I thought it was
Yeah.
John Wick talking, but yo, that movie was really, really good, bro. If you haven't seen it, have you seen Die Hard?
Yeah, I've seen Die
Have you
Hard.
seen Home Alone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I actually watched Die Hard after that. Never mind. Hold on. Let me rewind because I've seen Die Hard
Nah,
mad
you're
time.
good.
But Violent Night is really really good in the whole movie. It's kind of like an homage and like a reference to Die Hard and Home Alone like combined. It's really really smart the way they like put the references in. And it's also just a good movie. It's funny. It's a little, Christmas movie, but like definitely very violent, but it was definitely funny. And the way they kind of like put the references to Die Hard and Home Alone in there, if you're a fan of either of those movies, you would appreciate it because it's kind of just like an appreciation love letter to those movies, kind of. And then I randomly watched The Boondock Saints, which was a very interesting movie. I liked it a lot. And then I was also interested in the backstory because I heard that it was like supposed to be like a huge budget film that like Harvey Weinstein had bought at the time before it was, you know, canceled and shit. But
Right.
it was like the hottest script in Hollywood. And like the dude who wrote it had never written like a screenplay or nothing, and he just was hard to work with. And then like midway through production, they kind of were like, all right, fuck you. And then he did it on like an indie film company production, whatever. And then yeah, they made it and it was dope. I liked it. You could tell it was an indie film, but the concept behind it was really interesting. And then I watched Die Hard like the next day because I watched Violent Night with my girl and she had never seen Die Hard. And then I was like, all right, we gotta watch this so you understand it more. And then she liked it, and Die Hard's a classic. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's tight. So I haven't seen Violent Night yet. I remember seeing the trailer for it and being like, "This." I mean, like, I love John Woo. You ever see Hard Boiled before? Like
Hard
like one
Boiled.
of his first movies.
I don't
Like
think I
go find Hard Boiled when you get a chance. That
Hard
movie
Boiled.
is fucking crazy. It's Chow Yun Fat's in it from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay.
Nuts, so good. But yeah. So I haven't seen because there was another movie that came out last year called Silent Night that was about like a Nordic Santa Claus who just he gets trapped in a house. It's also kind of like a riff on Home Alone. Like Santa gets trapped in the house and he's got to like go kill a whole bunch of mobsters. Go find Silent Night if you can. That shit is crazy too.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Wait,
But what?
that sounds pretty similar to like Violent Night. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think the only difference is that Violent Night's about like like the guy in Violent Night's not Santa. Like it's just like Silent Night is like Violent Night if the guy was Santa Claus. Like
No,
literally like the
Violent Night is Santa Claus.
Oh shit, really?
I think we're talking about the same movie.
Maybe we are. Okay.
It's Santa
Okay.
Claus, and it's like the rich family, right? And then
Okay, we are talking about the same movie.
it's little by
Yeah. My
yeah.
fault. So
No, yeah,
the,
that okay. We are talking about okay, there you go.
my
God,
fault.
there
The,
you
the
go.
other
I was
the
like,
other
how many Santa Claus, Die Hard, Home Alone movies are there that came out and have a very similar title? Like that's pretty
shit.
crazy.
Yeah, nah, because the other
That's
movie I was
not
yeah, no, the other movie I was thinking of was called I think it's called Silent Night, and it's that's the movie that's directed by John Woo about like it just came out in theaters. I haven't seen it yet, but either way, I got confused. That movie's crazy. I forgot it was called Violent Night. The movie's tight. It's
yeah.
super good. I fuck with it a lot.
That was a dope movie, and I didn't have high expectations at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I watched it because it was free. I think it was on like HBO or Prime or something. And I just was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my girl been doing a little Christmas movie marathon, you know what I'm saying? Getting in the spirit.
Mhm.
I was just like, fuck it, let's try this out. You know what I'm saying? And we did, and it was funny. That shit was dumb funny.
Yeah, nah, I like like the whole beginning when he's at the bar and just like talking to the
Yeah,
lady behind the bar and
He
like
leaves the present, and then yes. No, we're done. Okay. Yeah, it was dope.
yeah,
It was really well done, like honestly.
and yeah, no, John Leguizamo did his thing as
Right.
like super duper sympathetic. Like like he's like it's like it's very easy to get behind like the person who's like robbing the rich family who doesn't need the money, but at the same time, like they got the little girl, and you don't want to, like
Right.
you want Santa Claus. It was they did a like there was a lot of layers to that there didn't need to be, and they just
Right.
decided to make it in like the smartest way they could, and that movie was dope. I had a great time with it.
Right. Yeah. No, and I think it's also like I also really like when like I think like one of the coolest things about art, even though it sounds like might sound dumb, is just like just like the layers, like almost over layering shit, especially when it's shit that like when you take a fairly simple concept and then you just are like, oh, but look at all of these layers. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
love that, and I like I feel like that's also like a big part of my music, and you know what I'm saying is just kind of like representing something that seems simple, but just having a lot of different layers and depths behind it that make it more intricate than what it might seem on the surface level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about this maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. You ever see RoboCop before?
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I haven't watched it in a while, but RoboCop is one of those, like it sounds so simple as a concept, like it's a robot cop, whatever, but like you're watching the movie and like the company that owns him is like this big tech company that like owns the police in Detroit, and they turn Son into a fucking cyborg because they just want to have like like they want to have that human element to the police, quote unquote, but like 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 they want to have it so that they can control him. And throughout the whole movie, like he tries to go and arrest the person, but they have like the Directive 4 thing in his head that makes it so that he can arrest his employers. Like there's just like, once again, like that's a movie that's so incredible to me, not just because it's like a really smart, interesting, like layered sci-fi movie, but it also just like works as like a kick-ass funny action movie too. Like it works on like 80 different levels. And
No, it works.
like
And like my favorite movie I'd say that is like The Big Lebowski, because like
man,
it's
classic.
like there's like it's so dumb, but at the same time they just make it so like dramatic and like it's like you really like want him to win, but you're like, why do I like it's always like why do I even give a shit at all? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like it's just like funny as hell, and like all the characters in that I think are, like, and then they just kill like the random motherfucker at the end who like it's
Yeah.
like it's like why you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much like shit to that, and like it's like it's a very like nihilistic kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, like you can say that about a lot of the Coen brothers movies, but like the Big Lebowski in particular is just like, I like to think of that movie as like it's like dumb in a smart way, if that
Right.
makes sense,
100,000%. It's like it's exactly what I mean. Like it's dumb in a smart way. That's the best way to put it.
like it's like, because like I think all the time about just like there's like so many iconic shots in the movie, like even forgetting
Oh
like the whole plot, just like John Turturro licking the bowling ball, and the bit with
God,
the bit with the Viking lady, and just like you're out of your element, Donnie. Like just I
yeah,
don't know, I love that fucking movie.
him even like like the opening scene of like him like coming home again, like thrown in a fucking toilet, and they're like, where's
Yeah,
money? He's like, what are you like, bro, the seat is up, like I don't have a fucking wife, like what I'm saying. Or he's like this, yeah. Like jeez, like that shit.
yeah, yeah, nah, fucking yeah. Like I'm a big Coen Brothers person. I love pretty much all their movies. You
It's
ever?
because also like they take very regular seeming people in situations that are like
Yeah,
very relatable, and then they just like up them to a point of like, oh shit, but it's also like it's realistic, it's grounded enough in reality that you're like, it's kind of relatable, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's not on some shit that's like super like, this would never happen to me. You know what I mean? Like any guy could get his rug stolen. Yeah, you might not want to go fucking track him down, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have like it's it makes the viewer feel closer to it. You know what I mean?
Big facts. Like my two favorite Coen brothers. Before we move on, my two favorite Coen brothers movies are, and it took me like a little while to realize that they're my two favorites. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and Burn After Reading are my two favorite Coen brothers movies ever. Like, I just, man, like you ever see either of them?
I think I've seen, what was the second one you said?
Why am I blanking? Burn After Reading.
No, I haven't seen either of those.
So, real quick, Oh
But I
Brother, Where Art Thou?
heard the first one. That's like a very famous movie.
Yeah,
But I've never.
it's like it's no, my fault. It's just super tight. It's like a retelling of like the Odyssey, but instead of them all being in like ancient Greece, they're in like they're in like the South in the 20s. Like the three characters are on like a chain gang, and they get off the chain gang and just like go and have an adventure like through I forget what state it takes place in, but like like there's like John Goodman's in it, and he's supposed to be like the Cyclops from it. There's like a whole scene where they like go and get picked up by some sirens in a lake. Like I don't know, like the movie is just like super duper regular, and like I know this word can be like a pejorative sometimes. Like it's very like folksy. It's like somebody made like a folk tale come to life. It's like really cool the way they did it. And it's really funny and silly, but also like dry and regular. And the music's great too. It was like that soundtrack was one of my first big introductions to like bluegrass and like folk music and like some like definitely not like country because I'd heard country before then, but like bluegrass and folk music of that stripe and of that variety. And it was just,
Right.
the whole package of the shit was just super ill to me. And then Burn After Reading is a movie about like the CIA, like he's like he's like in the private sector of the CIA, and he gets fired from his job, and he like decides he's gonna go like write his memoirs or something. And like these two dumbasses who work at a gym that he goes to, like the CD falls out, and they think that they found some like secret CIA document that they could like sell, and they try to like go sell it to the Russians and blackmail the dude. And it's just like I don't want to spoil the movie.
Yeah,
This isn't a
don't
spoiler.
spoil it because it sounds dope. Like I want to watch this now. I'm about to look it
It
up.
it's incredible, but I'm pretty sure it's on Max. Like this isn't a spoiler, but like one of the last lines in the movie is just them like going over the events of what happened, and like one of the characters is just like, so what did we learn from this? And then the other character's like, I guess we just learned to never do it again. And then the movie just ends. You know, like it's one of those. I love it. What happened?
Is it funny? Does it got like funny shit in it?
It's
It sounds.
hilarious, bro. It's so goddamn funny.
Yeah, it definitely sounds funny. I definitely want to give this a watch. That sounds really funny.
Yeah,
I got
it's
it right now.
it's yeah, like it's by the guys who made the Big Lebowski. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
definitely like it's so crazy. Like it might be one of my favorite movies ever. Like whenever I'm in a bad mood, I just put it on. Just like it's just
That,
like it just like everyone's so dumb, and it's just like the way that like these dumb people do dumb things to get. It's one of those, you know. It's
yeah,
cool as
that's
hell.
those are always good. I like those. I like you know, like Super Bad is also one of those where it's just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, how stupid are you motherfuckers? You know, like Pineapple Express also like, yeah, motherfuckers is just dumb as hell. Like I love like stoner movies, you know.
Yeah, bro, me too. But yo, let's run it all the way back in terms of movies for you. What was the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. First thing that comes to mind.
The first thing that came to mind was Monsters Inc. That used to be like my favorite movie. I
Mm.
love Monsters Inc. I used to watch it like every day when I was a little kid on DVD. But yeah, I love Monsters Inc. That was my joint when I was a kid. But I also remember a memorable one was I remember my mom um, put on Adventures of Babysitting. Me and
Oh
my
wow.
when we was like young, and she was like, yeah, because it was like PG, because like the ratings back then were like either PG or R, so it probably would have been PG-13. But we were like young, and they was like dropping F bombs and shit like that, like doing crazy shit. And my mom's was like, "Oh, I did not remember it being like this." Like, you know what I'm saying? So I remember that for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, no, because I think yeah, I think you're right. Because I think Adventures of Babysitting came out. I think the first movie to ever get a PG-13 rating was I think the first Indiana Jones. So I
I think
think that might have come out before that.
yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I just remember that it was very funny because my mom was not ready for all of that to be the case.
Right. Yeah, no, like there's like hella movies you go back and watch. Like I rewatched Jaws sometime earlier this year. And like as crazy as Jaws is, that movie was rated PG, bro. Like
Gee,
people are getting torn
yeah,
apart by the shark, and fucking like and just like all this like political skullduggery happening like out on the island and shit. And I'm like, this movie was rated PG? Like what are we doing here?
yeah, that's yeah, pretty fucking wild. Like if a movie like that came out now, it'd definitely be like R.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And then like when they put out all the they put out all the sequels, and all of those were like I think at the very least they got like a PG-13 because they made two others. They're terrible. You don't need to see them. But
All right.
yeah.
I also feel like, you know, now I feel like there's more of an emphasis on like graphicness and like shock value, and like obviously like they have the money to like do like very realistic looking shit. So it's like now if there was a movie like that, I'm sure it would be a lot more graphic and like worse in terms of like, you know, it just would look like they'd be going crazy. They'd probably have the shark like violating motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro. It'd be like there's this horror movie. I think I might have just talked about it recently somewhere. But like, you ever see Terrifier 2 or hear of
I'm
Terrifier
like
2 before?
not a horror movie guy because I'm gonna be real. Like I
Well,
don't like movies that's just like a lot. I like more like psychological horror shit. But
I
like,
feel you.
like I fuck with like Black Mirror, but like certain shit that's just like too gory. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want to watch that shit. It's just like I don't see like it's just not appealing to me in that like you know what I mean? Like I'm just like I'm watching this to lay back, not to like cringe and be like, ugh, you know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah, nah, I'm a big psychological. I love all different kinds of horror, but like I love. You ever see Jacob's Ladder? I don't know why I just thought about it, but you said psychological horror, and I just started thinking about Jacob's Ladder.
No, I don't think I have to be honest.
It might have come out in the I forget when it came out, but it's Tim Robbins is in it. It's about a guy who has PTSD from a war that he went to, and he's just dealing with the PTSD from the war. It's really incredible. It's super duper dope. I think I saw it at my friend's crib. It must have been like 7 8 years ago at this point, but like it really left an impression on me, and it's just like super like it's not really gory in any sense, and it's all just about like this guy dealing with like his brain
Like
falling
I
apart.
like I could also like you know, it's not like I don't want to see like any type of like violence. You know, it's just
Right?
like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
when
We
it's
were just talking about Violent Night. Yeah. No, I feel
yeah,
you.
it's just like when a motherfucker like peeling a motherfucker's skin off, and I'm like, ugh, like what, like the slow like I'm like, bruh, nah, like, I ain't for me. You know what I'm saying, like yo, like what was the shit Jordan Peele movie like on like the farm?
Um. The new one, right? Nope.
Nope, nope, nope. Like that was dope, but like the scene with the monkey, I was like, ugh, like that was
Yeah.
gross.
That was yeah. Yeah. Like I get it, but like that scene was just so like the whole like when the kid is hiding under the table and
Yeah,
then like he and then he
powerful. Yeah,
yeah, like he reaches in for the fist bump and then he gets yeah, like it was like they did that in a way where it really like that made me a little queasy. I don't get queasy from shit, but like that like it was like uncomfortable,
yeah,
in a way that I hadn't felt in a while.
right. But I mean, like, I think it also speaks to like, you know, when something can actually make you uncomfortable, like that's you know, art is supposed to evoke a feeling, you know. So it's like
Right.
if that's the intent and they succeeded, then it's good by that quality. You know what I mean? By that standard, like it's they did their job, you know. And you might not like it, but that kind of goes back to what we was talking about earlier in terms of like you still gotta understand like and appreciate it on just an objective level in terms of like what purpose it serves, even if it's not for you.
Right, totally. And yeah, like that's the whole point of that movie too, is just like the emphasis on spectacle and like how far we go to attain it, like how it can just like ruin your perception of like life and living and just like the idea of like like that movie is so interesting and so fucking dope to me. Like it's I don't know. Like there's like for that to only have been the third movie he's ever made and for him to be like
Uh,
taking those swings like that,
My favorite one I think
crazy.
is Us with the two families.
Uh-huh.
Crazy. I remember seeing that shit. I was like, whoa, this shit is nuts.
Man, like I love that whole movie up until like the last 25 minutes. Like when they start explaining like the tethered and then think like to me like when they start explaining what they are, it kind of goes off the rails and I kind of wish that they didn't explain what the tethered were about and they just kind of like let it ride. But
Yeah,
everything else about that movie is so good that I just not to say I don't
it
care, but
it
I think
it,
about
it,
it,
it, it did overstay its welcome a little bit. I feel like, but like you know, like what's like the last scene? Like, isn't it like the daughter like chasing like the other daughter, right? Or like
Yeah, cuz
I remember that shit, and then like they like switch or whatever. I don't even
yeah, that was the twist of the movie that that
right,
the that
right, right.
that the tethered girl goes up to the yeah like that amazing twist like the twist was great like really well executed but just like I just like my only issue is that they spent a little too much time trying to like explain the tethered and they could have just let it rock and it just like in terms of like flow like the flow was kind of
Oh, yeah,
off for a tiny bit but like
no, I do remember that little awkward scene where they were like breaking it down, and it just was a lot of like, it kind of like came in the midst of like a very like intense part of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like slowed it down.
Yeah.
I haven't like gone back to it too much, to be honest with you, but I'm kind of impressed like how much I'm like remembering more and more now that I'm saying it, but I do remember seeing it in theaters and I was like, whoa, like this is a really good movie. But also now that you brought like I didn't remember that, and now that you brought it up, I remember being in theaters being like, this is kind of slow. Like pick it up. Like, come on, like, you know what I mean?
I've been wanting to rewatch it again myself. I'm gonna do it at some point. But like, I mean, like, I love his movies. He's dope. There's
And
no,
really sure. And it's
it.
also like at this point, like, people forget how brilliant of a comedian he is too, and like how
Yeah,
much he and Peel, like how iconic that shit is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like he's like now like one of the best like directors in Hollywood, like off of his 3 films. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the hottest, newest ones. But he's like his comedy was also like at that time was just like super funny. You know what I'm saying? Even like the
right.
slapstick shit, even just like the like East West Bowl, like the East West Bowl
The
is
East
hilarious.
West Bowl is iconic,
That's like
man. I love
that's like
that shit.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like it was dope though. Like they made some really, really classic skits, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think they also helped like kind of like shape that like weird, like humor kind of stuff going on. You know what I mean? And also like
For
if you look
sure,
at
bro.
like the YouTube, like funny YouTube shit at the time, like that shit did not age well, but their shit did kind of age. It holds up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there were a couple. Like, there's actually more than a couple that I go back to, and I'm like, I can't believe I found this funny. But there's also like enough that I'm just, and it's so funny you bring up the East West Bowl because my shower
That's like the
handle.
best one. That's the best
Yeah,
one.
it's easily the best one.
Oh
But
my
like my shower handle broke like maybe like 3 4 days
Devoid
ago.
shower
My my sister was at work and I told them that the fucking shower handle broke, and the first thing they sent me was Devoyne shower handle, and I was just like, he's like, this is
Hingle McFringleberry. Yo,
yeah,
yeah,
fucking
nah, they were funny. They were dope. And then like they had the funny ass twist in like one of the last ones, and they had like the white guy who was like Howard University. I was like, oh,
yeah.
nah. I was like, come on, like,
Yeah, no, his name was like Stan Smith, Howard
right,
University. I'm just
right. I
like,
was like, oh man, like, yeah,
them shits are funny as hell.
yeah,
But
yeah, funny as fuck, dog.
yo, so as you grew up, so like, yes, like as you get older and start to have like more life experiences and start building your own taste, like was there a movie that kind of like stopped you in your tracks on some like capital M movie shit where it's like just something that
Yes.
really like connected with you on like a spiritual, yeah, okay, you got it.
Okay. I mean, so I mean, I could give you a few, but one of the main ones is King of New York. That's like one of my favorite movies ever. Like that's such a like just the cinematography on it, like young Lawrence Fishburne, like you know what I mean, on his bully the whole movie,
Uh-huh.
fucking young Wesley Snipes in the shit as the cop. Obviously, fucking Christopher Walken is incredible in that shit.
Yeah.
Um, it's just such a good movie, yo. It's so like I love that movie, yo, and it made me feel so super connected to like just like New York and like obviously I don't think I'm on like no crime mob boss shit, but it's just like a really really good movie. And then um and it's like it's also dope because like you see like the hip hop references from it, obviously like Biggie and Frank White, and then like Jay
Mm-hmm.
Styles like come see me at the Plaza Hotel. I might give you a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like
Yeah.
dope shit in there that like, you know what I mean? Like, and when I saw it, like all of that shit like connected to me as a hip hop fan. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just made me feel like I like understood more about like New York and hip hop and just, shit that was going on at the time and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's also one of the first movies I heard that featured like a hip hop soundtrack.
I'm
Um,
fairly positive, yeah.
yeah. So that's really dope, honestly. And I love the Big Lebowski. I watch that movie all the time.
Yeah.
Um, that's a really good one. Super Bad is funny as hell, but that's like not really only it's really King of New York though. That's probably my favorite, honestly. Like I love that movie for real. That's a really good one.
See, I haven't seen King of New York in a long time, but the one scene, I mean, like, it's a great movie, but the one scene I remember from King I can't believe I'm about to say this. The one scene I remember from King of New York is when like Lawrence Fishburne gets spat on, and then he just like takes it off his face,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
just it really like I want to jump out this fucking window behind me right now just thinking like that shit sends ick up my spine. I hate it.
yeah,
But like it's but like it does such a great job of establishing how nasty of a villain that guy is.
yeah.
You know, like but
Yeah,
like I just like
when he's in the chicken spot though, that's the ill joint. He comes in, he's like, "Yo, I need 20 wing, I need shrimp, I need tartar sauce, like make it crispy. You don't be slow on my shit. Like better, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he turns, and then he gives the money to the kids, and he's like, and he gives the money to their moms. He's like, get something nice. Da da da. He turns around, he's like, yo, where's my food, yo? I need my fucking food. Like da 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 da. And then while all this is going on, the cops are going and booking his man outside. Yo,
right.
that's such a great scene, yo.
Damn. Okay. And see. Now I gotta rewatch King of New York. It's been too long. Like
Yo,
that's just one of those that like you've seen it.
great movie. Like I love that movie. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's
You
like
remember? You remember how old you were when you first saw it?
saw it like 2 years ago, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It
Yeah.
wasn't that like I wasn't like a kid when I seen it like 2 years ago type shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like it definitely left like an impact on me. You know what I'm saying? It definitely like sparked something, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm
Right.
gonna be king of New York.
Yeah. I mean, like it's definitely one of those. So I feel you. And since you brought up the soundtrack and the music and shit, when did music become capital M music for you? Like when did it go from being like a passive thing
so,
to
so it was kind of always something like I always loved music. I had an iPod that had like Biggie, Eminem, DMX, shit like that, like the big dudes on there, you know what I mean? Um, and I grew up listening to like a lot of music, like classic rock, whatever, like, whatever was on the radio, shit like that, pop, like Eminem,
right,
Kanye, Rihanna, shit like that. That was just, whatever was hot at the time, you know what I mean? Wayne, shit like that. But I always like knew what was going on. Like, bro, like I could, like, it's weird. Like if motherfuckers playing Name That Tune, like I'm gonna kick motherfuckers' asses. I know shit from like the first note, and it would be crazy because I'd be with my mom. I'd be like 7, 8 years old. She'd be like flipping through the stations, and I'd be like, "Oh, that one, that one, now." She'd be like, What? Like, go back." I'd be like, "Go back." Like, I could tell from like a single, like, I'm not even trying to like gas it. Like to this day, like I'm still pretty sharp with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, smoking kind of like I'm a little slower now, but like I really like, you know what I mean? So I always like loved music, you know what I'm saying? It was always something like I always had my headphones on in school, whatever, you know what I mean? Like whenever I could listen to music, I listened to it. But I was more of a sports kid growing up, honestly. And then, I kind of just was like, I ain't fucking going to the NFL. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But I just was like, I wanted to like take my music more seriously. So I just did that. Probably like, so I was writing bars when I was like 12 type shit, but I didn't really start putting music out till I was 14. Um, and then, yeah, I put music out when I was 14 and shit. And then, you know, when COVID happened, I was like 15, 16. Um, I think around then, yeah. But like that just really gave me a lot of time to like hone down on shit, especially because I ain't gonna front. Like I was getting in mad trouble on the streets and shit. Like I ain't gonna front. Like I thought, so I stopped playing sports and I just was like, I was kind of like just doing bad. You know what I mean? Like I was selling mad drugs and shit. I got booked. Like I was wilding, like robbing kids. Like you know what I mean? Like just like doing regular delinquent ass shit. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
stick up kid type shit. Yeah,
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my crew was on some time, you know what I mean, going into parties and shit, wilding, shit like that. Um, yeah, I was just, I was getting into some trouble and I just had to like, if COVID didn't happen, like I probably would have been doing, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It kept me in the house though, because my mom was really not letting me leave, you know what I'm saying? She was like, because she took that shit wild serious, you know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah. Um, and that's pretty much what it was. So I was like, fuck it, and I really got time to just work on my shit and find exactly the pocket of music that I wanted to put myself in, and yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
That's crazy. And like for me, like the thing, and like I ask that question to everybody who comes on here, but with you in particular, like I'm so fascinated because yeah, like once again, like you being so young and you being so drawn to something that's like because like I saw quite a bit of like me in that because for me, like I was saying before, I guess I will say it. So like when I was younger, like I was also like a radio rap kid. I I was really big into like Crunk and Snap when that was going up,
Right.
like fucking like like that was like. And then after all of that, I discovered Doom, Nas's Illmatic.
Doom was
Uh,
the thing that opened it for me too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like that was so you like I just like from there, like I became like the 15, 16-year-old who was like I was in high school when Nas's Hip Hop Is Dead came out. And I was the kid who was like, yeah, this shit weak. This hip hop shit. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Like I had no right to be saying any of that type of shit. But like like I was like Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor is one of my favorite albums of all time. So like I was really like jocking all of that shit at that point.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like I started doing my due diligence into like like the Biggie biopic came out at that time, the Tribe documentary came out at that time. So like I started going in like I started really doing my research and really digging into the history of hip hop, and I had my moment where that's all I wanted to listen to. And
Hmm.
then eventually I like, not to say I grew out of that because I still love all that stuff, but I like we were saying before, like I broadened my horizons and realized like I was tripping. Like I grew up loving like I grew up loving Rockefeller, Dipset. I grew up loving like Crunk and Snap music, Lil Jon, Soldier Boy, like you name it, but like I just had that moment where I was like where like all like I just had like that. You ever see that meme of the lady like licking the brain, and it's like I just want somebody who could make my
Yeah.
mind nut. Like it was like that type of. It's I'm embarrassed by it,
I
but
agree.
like
And it's cool that you say that because like I like I'm still kind of in my like all I want to hear is hip hop phase right now. Like I just am on that like super heavy, and I'm like really like it's cool though because like
yeah,
very very recently though like I've been starting to like listen to more shit, which I know I like need to do, but like I've been listening to a lot more. Like I've been listening to some Sade, like Bob Marley, The Clash, Jill Scott, like shit like that. Like just you know what I'm saying, like and it's really dope to like it's like I hate saying this, you know what I'm saying, but sometimes it's just like I listen to so much like music and like hip hop shit, but then I hear like like a very well like structured song with like a bridge and like a build up, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like it's like it almost is like new to me again, which is like exciting, you know what I mean? Like it's cool to like hear like shit because like I've almost like blocked that off from my ears for so long that now it's like I'm really heavy on my like hip hop shit, but I like be like bang, like I'm throwing like throwing a Bob Marley song, I'm throwing like little Jill Scott, let me throw in a little, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Fucking Al Green, you know what I mean? Like some shit like that. Like I just like shit that's like classic, you know what I mean? Like that
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, like good music is good music, and yeah, like just to clarify, I was talking about broadening my horizons specifically in terms of the rap I was listening to, but like
right.
because
I'm
right, because yeah, no, like because yeah, like my pops is a my pops was in a he was in a doo-wop group coming up, and he used to roller skate like as a part of like a crew back in the day. So like so like him and my mom were already putting me up on all sorts of crazy cool shit like that. Like I grew up listening to damn near every kind of music I could get my hands on, but like rap was like you like rap and like electronic music and like metal and shit, like those were my three things that were like mine. And I kind of like started digging into all of that shit on my own and like building my base from there. And you like it's just like I want people to listen to whatever makes them happy and whatever fuels them and whatever inspires them creatively. Like I'm not the type of person who's like you got to listen to 80 different kinds of music to have an appreciation. But like if like good music is good music, like I'm like you. Like I listen to Sade all the time. Like
right.
I can't tell you how many days I've just like gone into my room and just thrown on like the Sweetest Taboo or like Tar Baby. Like Tar Baby is one of my favorite songs ever. And
Right.
but like, you know, it's just I just I'm just like I said before, I'm just appreciative that like it's just really dope to me that, you know, like you're at this point now where you're going through older rap music and that's so much a part of like the music you make, but it like your shit doesn't feel sanctimonious. It doesn't feel like you're punching down. You're not one of these like where the real hip hop go dudes, you know, like you just make the shit because you like it and it
Right.
sounds good, you know.
100%. And like it's just like I try to make the music that I would listen to. Like I'm like my
There it
own
is.
rapper, you know what I mean? Like that's so cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like, you know, that's just other than Rock Marciano, I'm like my favorite rapper. But you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
go.
Yeah, word. He's like the best at it. But and, yo, I literally told him that when I met him, I was like, yo, bro, like you're the only rapper that I think is like better than me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the God though, you know what I'm saying?
Always. Yeah.
But yeah, though, that, you know, like I just make the shit I like, you know what I mean? And yeah, like I just and it's cool to be under the tutelage of people who like can really appreciate that and we're a part of that when it was like that was the sound, you know what I'm saying? So they could like my shit holds up to people who was like in studios with Tribe and fucking Biggie and L and Pun and Doom and Busta and MOP and you know what I'm saying, Most Def and like and they hear my shit and they're like, yo, you're dope. Like that's awesome, you know what I'm saying? And especially when
Yeah.
I already got like the new heads listening to me, it's like it's cool because again, like what we started with, like, you know, that's how you bridge generations, you know what I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
one of my shows, bro, like there's as many 40-year-old motherfuckers there as there are like kids my age and younger, you know what I'm saying? And that's like really dope to me. Like honestly, like I love that so much because like, you know, that's what this shit is for. It's music, you know. There's no age limit on good music.
There it is, man. Yeah,
Especially
nah, like that's
when like the music that I'm making is like that's what it's from, you know what I'm saying? Like it only makes
mhm.
sense, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't have people who of that age bracket showing up, I feel like that means that I wouldn't be doing it right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's you know like it's just like it's just super dope that you see that already. You
100%.
know, like you know you're like at such like a you're at such a interesting spot in your career, but you already get that. And you know, like you're not just making shit that sounds dope to you, but you understand like how important it is to just kind of like make stuff that not necessarily transcends age, but is like willing to pull in all sorts of different kinds of people. Like that's just cool to me, you know? Like it's just like
And
being so
like that
intentional.
also, sorry, not to interrupt, but like
You're
you know,
good, bro.
it to be a full symbol of like New York, bro. Like you come to my shows, it's all different people, all different types of colors there, all different ages. You know what I'm saying? We still
Yep.
work on getting some more ladies in the room, but you know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's underground hip hop. We doing what we can, but
Hey
you know
man.
we got some,
Ladies love the shit too. I gotta put that out there.
we be
I
having
know,
ladies there though. We be having some short
of
like
course.
we have
Yeah, yeah,
everybody there.
yeah.
You come to my show, it looks like New York, bro. Like, and that's the dope thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Is like it looks like New York when you come to my joints. You know what I mean? And that's what I want it to be. You know what I mean? Because that's at the end of the day is what I'm trying to translate. Is like, you know, my whole shit is just like, you know, New York is a big part of my identity, and my identity, you know, comes from being around here, and obviously, you know, my own life experiences, but that's happened here. So it's, you know, my whole shit is just like a love letter to really like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, to me, it's powerful when you know, like having people. It's dope when I have people like a strong fan base in New York, but I also have a strong fan base in London or Chicago or LA or Texas, you know, because like some of those people have never been to New York, you know what I'm saying? So if
Right.
I could translate that in a way that even hits through them, like again, great music is gonna speak for itself, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You're painting the picture for people. And that's, you know, like that's something I appreciate that you don't take that lightly. And when so like you had mentioned it before, but when did you know like when did you know this was going to be become something that was more than just a hobby for you? Like when was it like, oh, like I'm doing this?
Honestly, it's like you know, this might sound weird, but like I was doing a lot of like acid and psychedelics when I was like 14, 15 years old. Like
Mhm.
just like, really like doing shit like that. I was selling a lot of it and just, doing shit like that. Wow. And like, I kind of just didn't really trust like the path like of like, you know, just like where the economy was going, which I ended up being right about. Like motherfuckers is doing bad now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, like pretty much. You know, I remember being in middle school and hearing my gym teacher talk to one of my other teachers and being like, yo, talking, and I overheard the conversation. They were talking about how they're still paying off student loans. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Obviously, teachers don't get paid enough. My mom's is a teacher, but, that just to me, I was like, how the fuck are we being taught by these people to do the same shit that they did and they're in debt? That's not a good path to be put on. To be in debt is not a good path. You know what
No.
I'm saying? No disrespect to anybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's like what we're taught to do, but it's just like that to me sat with me even when I was in middle school, a young kid. I was like, how the fuck, like, like they're teaching us to put ourselves in debt? Like, is that what we're being taught? You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like honestly, like there was really nothing else I was interested in other than music. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, am I just gonna sell drugs? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do that shit. Again,
Yeah,
I
no,
said
that's not sustainable.
wasn't going to the NFL. My ADHD is too bad to sit in the fucking office all day. I could get busy in the kitchen, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to like go to like culinary school and shit like that. I'm
Right.
saying I was you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, like pretty much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nah,
So
and
pretty much, yeah. To wrap that up, like it only made sense, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I honestly like I hate like I don't hate saying it, but it's just like I feel like a lot of people feel that way. That's why there's so many people who make music now, and it's just like people are like fuck the world, like I'm gonna make music. Like that's really where I was at, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just lucky
yeah,
that I kind of like did it well enough and put my like. 'Cause I don't get me wrong, like I worked dumb hard. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like so that was my perspective, and it wasn't like I just was putting shit on SoundCloud and sitting in my room like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna blow like
right.
I was out here, like I was putting in work because that was my perspective. Like I had my back against the wall. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna go do this regular ass life shit. Like that's not for me. You know what I mean? Like that shit just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like I just was like, nah, I can't. You know what I mean? Like just nah, shit was not for me. So yeah, pretty much.
Right. And before we get to your two projects, one of the things I really wanted to touch on was, like one of those SoundCloud things, the fucking the new Hobbits freestyle, like over Lovesick,
It was ridiculous.
because like let me say first and foremost, he's one of my favorite producers of all time. Like like my life changed when I heard the work that him and Fat John did on Samurai Champloo. I think I mentioned this like way back on an earlier episode, but like, yeah, he's one of my favorite producers of all time. Love him to death. So it was really dope for me to see that you had done something over Lovesick. So like, talk to
Yeah.
me about that and like why you decided to do that.
That's
And
dope that you did some digging on that. Someone else brought that track up recently to me. I be forgetting about that track, but I used to like open shows with that track. Honestly, that was the first song that I really wrote that I was like, my pen was wow strong on. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
basically, to be real, like it was his birthday, and I wrote the shit on his birthday to the beat, and I was gonna put it out, but then I didn't do it in time, and then I did it like a week later. And I put it out, but I already had made it on his birthday type shit. But I ain't like recorded that day. I recorded like a day or two later and then put it out, whatever. But yeah, man, I just was like, trying to flex some ball work, and I was inspired to do it to that because I had like seen that it was his birthday, so I chose to do it like that day, and I'm a fan of his work too, so I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And yeah, that was really like the first, like I was really getting my pen right around that time, so obviously I've gotten a lot better since then, but that was like the first track I feel like I really put out that I was like, oh yeah, like I'm really killing them on this shit, ball for ball, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, it's some work on that song, man. And like the crazy thing is, like you hadn't even really put all that much music out before that,
I'd
like
like,
not really.
yeah, I'd like,
So like,
I'll be real. Like, I also like had two projects out before that were like really garbage, and I just like were not good, and I like took them down. But like they were not really good at all, so I don't
hey,
regret it.
man, you know, like that's that like that takes a lot of courage to do, you know, like just like taking down something that you put up like that. So
Yeah,
I get it.
they were not that good though. Like like it was, that was like really the starting. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just getting my first. Like I was like learning to rap and record. And I just wanted to
Right.
like put music out. So I just was like doing that. You know what I'm saying?
So comparing that work to the stuff that you wound up making that made up Museum. Talk to me about making Museum and putting that project together and like I guess just like I'm so like re-listening to it today, like it's one of those that really does feel like a like it's just crazy for that to be technically your third project, but like it sound like you sound fully formed. Like it's just like it just sounds like they just like it just sounds like you just showed up and we're like, I've
Nah,
had this, here it is. Like,
that, that that to me, like, so I was just putting in a lot of work, and like as I mentioned, like over the pandemic, like I just was working really hard to like get my pen right and listen to the right people. So I'll also be real. So those first projects I put out, like I sent them to people who were like, "Yo, this is cool. You sound like ASAP Rocky." Everybody told me I sounded like ASAP.
mm,
Everybody said that, and I was like, "What?" Like, I'm trying to like be a rapper. Like, I want people to like. Look, I always been a fan of like trap shit and all of that, but I always wanted people to respect my pen first and foremost. And like,
feel you, yeah.
I fuck with Rocky, but like to me, I felt a little slighted by that. I was like, man, like I could rap better than ASAP Rocky. Like I'm a better lyricist than him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, who would I not mind being compared to? And I was like, Nas, Doom, Jada Kiss, Big L, Joey Badass, Mac Miller. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, I really like buckled down and I like did that shit and worked real hard and shout out to my man Arlo Walker who produced like 95% of that project. And I co-produced a lot of it with him. But it was just dope. We was just kind of working, experimenting. Like I was just trying to like my main goal with that, I just wanted people to leave that project be like, oh, this kid could really fucking rap. Like he's dope. You know what I'm saying? So there's no hooks on that shit. It was just like 50 minutes of
Right.
rap. You know what I mean? So that was just kind of yeah, that was just kind of what it was. Like I was just really, really going hard on that shit, trying to just yeah.
And see, like that's the exact impression I got when I first listened to it. I was like, yeah, like this, yeah, I was like, yeah, this kid can spit. Like this is there's some like real good raps on here, and like I'm a like I'm a fan of just like I'm a fan of a good like hookless bar fest. Like if the bars are good and the bars are good, like the beat, I mean like the beats sound great, like really good features. Like my favorite on here has to be Life of Tom. Like shout out to Tom, he's fucking dope. His EP came out, he's super fucking fire. But like like making this project, especially considering that you had already kind of scrapped your first two, like when you finished like when you and Arlo finished this project, what was it like to step back and be like, this is done, I'm gonna put this out, people will take it how they take it? Like how did it feel to go from I'm taking these two projects down to this is something that I'm really proud of and I want
It
people to
was
hear?
really it was really quick to be honest. Like from like within like a week of finishing it, we put it out. Like we were just really antsy and excited to get it out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like we just wanted the mixing and everything done, and we just got it out there, and like I was just ready for people to hear me in my full and at the time I was thinking full list form, but it's I've evolved a lot since then too. So
Right.
I just wanted people to just hear that, you know what I'm saying, and people to just be like, ah, yeah, you know what I mean, and yeah, it just again like that was not the first project I made, but that was the first project I put money into and put time and serious thought and consideration into and structured and shot videos for and like did shit that you need to do for a project. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then like like not to I mean, like it was a little while after, but like and then you look at like United Palace, and
Oh
like
yeah,
Museum, like Museum, like you built up the clout, you put the project out, people are fucking with it, like you're slowly starting to build an audience, and like that project, like I said, already felt so fully formed and like had such a distinct identity, and then United Palace happens, and like that, and like this project is like like it very much feels like the I'm Here, Fuck With Me album. Like this is very much
right,
like your statement piece, like which is crazy because the first one was already such a statement piece. But
right.
like the thing that really cinched it for me is of course like you recreating the lifestyles of the poor and dangerous cover, like on your shit. Like that's like, like you don't just do that if you don't believe in the shit you're putting together. Like that's a
100%,
oh,
man.
big L shoes are big ones to fill.
Right.
So like
And I
so
also
like
like with that cover too, like, like it it did good things, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad that the cover did how it did, and did what it did, and people, I feel like most people interpreted it the right way, but I wasn't in any way trying to also be like, I'm the next Big L. I'm Big L.
right.
I rap like
Yeah.
Big. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't really what it was. Like obviously I'm a big fan of Big L. I asked Buck Wild and Lord Finesse, and we reached out to the estate all before putting it out. Um, so we got all the right approvals, so it felt right to do that. And I did it for a few reasons, but the main reason being like the main theme of my project was my neighborhood and L's, and that was, his neighborhood and the way he championed it. um, what I'm saying? I feel like I just was trying to salute to that parallel, you know what I'm saying? And also something that I realized which was important. And I actually seen something on Twitter the other day, and it really, I was like, I wonder what happened, if that had any correlation. But like, bro, kids are dumb and young, bro. Kids don't know who Big L are. Some kids know who I am and don't know who Big L is, which is like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really crazy
Right.
thing to think about. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. And look, I'm gonna send you this tweet right now. I'm gonna find it. Bro, someone tweeted top 5 artists I found this year. Number 1, Lord Sko. Number 2, Big L. And then
Damn.
the rest were like random underground artists. And I was like, yo, I wonder if they found Big L through me. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, that's exactly 100% what I fucking wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Right.
that means like, every time someone comments and is like, yo, that fucking white boy bite Big L, there's a kid who sees Big L's name and
And
it's
it's like,
like,
who is that?
who's Big
Yeah.
L? Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder why this dude who raps kind of good decided to do that. Let me listen to Big L. Oh shit, he raps really good. Huh. That's you know
See.
what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that 100% because like once again, like when I was coming up, like that's the type of stuff, like that's the type of stuff that would like inspire me to start digging for older artists, like hearing
Right.
references in songs, seeing homages in album covers, like that, like I mean like by doing that, like obviously I wasn't trying to say that like you were trying to crown yourself the next Big L, but it's like
No,
you're
100%.
establishing.
I got what you meant. Yeah.
No, no, of course. Like you're like you're establishing yourself within a lineage, and
Right.
like that's and like that
100%.
and like that's a really important, and like once again, like the fact that you're on that level and like doing this so early, and like not, and like once again, like you're being really like intentional with the way you're
Right.
doing it. Like it doesn't, like it's like that's not a hard, or like that's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to do for people who are like already established, because like you'll see people do stuff like that, and then it's just like you have an expectation to fill now. Like you kind of put yourself in a position where it's like, oh, if you're gonna do that, like people, like older people will be expecting a certain thing. But like, like like you came out the gate once again, and like the thing, one of the things I love about this, I mean, like I'm like I like both the projects, but like compared to Museum, like the like the beats are a little more experimental. You're rhyming over some sort of you're rhyming over some drumless shit, and like there's like the one thing that really got me, and I realized recently that you also did this on Museum. Like like James Worthy Goggle happens, and then 500 comes in right after,
Right.
and like
Yo, I'm
you're
so
you're like
glad, yo. You're
you're like
ill for realizing that. You're
yeah,
ill
you're
for
rhyming
realizing
over a drill beat, and then like and then I went back and heard Museum, and you were doing that exact same shit on Quills. You know, like you like bury like one random fucking not super duper like
And
whatever.
I'm always do. That's like my plan. Like I'm gonna always just have one in there that's just like what, like you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask if that was intentional, if that's like
No,
a thing you like
it's
to.
definitely intentional, and I
Cool.
just like playing with the pacing of albums. Like on Museum too, if you listen, like Finder's Fee to Saint Nick is like super happy to like the and like warm and full to like some like minimalistic ass beat that sounds like like really like dark and shit, and then it's like what I'm saying, like I really like I went crazy on structuring that album. I ain't gonna lie, like, and there's so much depth to the album that I feel like, and like I know it's gonna come, but I also like people be like, yo, you're such an ill rapper. And I'm like, yo, I'm an ill artist, yo. I make like art for real, yo. Motherfuckers like, I mean, and obviously this shit is all hip hop, and I called my first project Museum, and it was just raps, because hip hop is an art. I was just trying to say, like, yo, even in
Right.
its simplest form, just bars and beats, this is still an art. You know what I'm saying? This is my personal museum for the hip hop purists. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the purest form of art. It could be in a museum. You know what I'm saying? Bang.
Right.
Right. So, to carry on with that, it's like I really am into a lot of that, like art noir kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like I like doing like weird shit that's like very hip hop, but also kind of artsy. You know what I mean? And like playing with shit like that, and like there was a lot of I put a lot of detail into like crafting the album, especially United Palace. You know what I mean? Like that, I feel very very proud and happy with that, and how it's been received.
Yeah, man, you should be, like, and I think, and I appreciate you for making that distinction, because normally when you hear the I'm not a rapper, I'm an artist, it's like, I always groan when I hear that shit, because
Yeah.
because like the implication is that like rap's not art, but you made it clear. It's like, like you say that because rap is art, and
Right.
because it is art, like that's like, like I think it's something that, like like, like I know it's been kind of like done to death at this point, but like the shit is 50 years old. It just turned 50 this year, or at least like depending on who you ask, it just turned 50 this year. But like,
You know what someone
it's
told me, and this,
what's
and
that?
like God bless, it'll probably apply to you too. Someone said, one of my OGs told me this. He said, "Yo, you're alive for the 50th year of hip hop." He said, "God willing, you'll be alive for the 100th." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "I won't be alive for the 100th." You know what I'm saying? Which was like crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And think about how big it was for the people who was there when it started, like who's as old as hip hop is, to now
right,
seeing it turn 50. And it's like, like God willing, I don't get fucking lung cancer from Newport, and I could grow old and see the 100th year. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, like that shit stuck with me too. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully the world don't fucking burn down and we can still make rap music. You know what I mean? But
right. Okay, real quick. Now, okay, now that you brought that up, I got to tell you a really fast story. So my pops is, my dad's 78 years old. He's from the Bronx, like born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx
all right,
his whole life. So like my dad was in his late 30s to early 40s when rap first started, right? And I interviewed him back when I used to write for the site DJ Booth. I had me and my editor had an idea at the time, like for Father's Day. I told him like I wanted to like do something where I like interviewed rap dads, and he's like, "How about you just interview your dad?" And I was
right,
like, "Okay." So like I seemed like I went and interviewed him and talked to him about his relationship to rap music, and he told me that the first time he was with my best friend Solomon's mom, because they were friends. They've been friends for years. So like the two of them are in their he's in her apartment, and he sees three dudes breakdancing on cardboard on some like really stereotypical like five
yeah,
pillars hip hop shit. My dad goes over to Pam and is like, "Pam, there's three kids having a seizure on the sidewalk. We gotta go call." And she's just like, "They're just breakdancing, Marion. Like it's not what you think, So like hearing stuff like that, and you're like, like his favorite rapper of all time is Tupac. He's not like the biggest rap fan on planet Earth, but he likes what he likes and he doesn't like what he doesn't like. But like
right.
like he's someone who from the time he was already like grown, like when he got to watch rap music evolve. and like seeing it through his eyes is something that's always really kind of given the shit a little more weight to me. And like
Damn.
through other people who are older than me, you know, like I said, like in the writing and music game, I came up under a bunch of really crazy people, like really like legends, you know, who like really gave me a crazy amount of perspective and taught me to appreciate the classics while also, you know, like just me being able to like dig through what I like. And like, you know, like that shit is important to me. And I appreciate not just the cover of United Palace, but like the content of the album for like really figuring out a way to flip all of this in a modern way that's gonna catch ears. You
Nah,
know, like because
real man.
nah, man, you know, like hearing something like James Worthy Goggles, like that's like, you know, like that is a song. Like there's so many examples here of stuff that just like it's just like new modern interpretations of the shit that we all grew up loving,
Yep,
you
I'm
know, like
saying that time. I'm like James Worthy to me. That sounds like a new version of like a Wu-Tang track. You know what I mean? Like that to me, like that shit is mad. Like I don't even know. Like that shit is mad RZA. You know what I mean? But it
yeah,
doesn't have like RZA drums on it. But it still sounds like a RZA or like a Madlib beat. You know what I mean? Like some shit like that. Like that's like
right,
exactly like the shit that I'm trying to be on. You know what I mean? Like, and it's gonna
yeah,
be dope when I actually get in the studio with RZA, Madlib, and get beats and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man, like that's the goal. And you know, like, and you're like even something like Mescaline Leaves, like the song of Mayhem Loren on here, like I think to me that might be my favorite song on the whole project. Like
so
just like I don't know, like just the
that's a
way
that's a good one right there for sure. No, I definitely dig that joint. It's
it just you know, like it just flows and it doesn't and like I said, it doesn't feel like I know we were talking about Joey Badass before, and there's like certain aspect. I mean, like I love 1999. Like I was like at the exact age that he and his people were hitting for, like when that shit came out. But like you know, you listen to something like your project, and you listen to like Joey Badass's project, and Joey Badass was, I feel like really like early on, them and like the whole Beast Coast were like so caught up in like evoking the 90s, you know, like in like the purest like unexperimental way. And that's great, you know, like like a lot of those projects still hold up really well. But one thing I really do enjoy about United Palace is the fact that like, you know, it feels you know like you're paying homage to the past, but it feels very modern too.
Thank you,
You know,
bro. Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
and I appreciate that. And I mean, it means a lot that you say that because I always say, I say to people all the time though, like, nothing like the shit I'm doing is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't on no Soldier Boy shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't the first doing this shit. Like, I'm following a lineage. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to put my own spin and my own sauce on it as to what it would sound like through my eyes and through my mouth. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Just like in terms of like what we talking about. You know what I mean? And like, look, I didn't grow up in the '90s. I can't stand on the corner in 1994 and be like, I'm gonna write exactly what I see right now. I can do that right now. You know what I'm saying? I can take notes and take gems from my OGs who was not around over then and see what thoughts gets put on it. I'm saying it's not like we, like it's like different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not from the 90s, so it can't sound like the 90s. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to do that. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
can't get too caught up in doing it. Yeah, I want to pay homage, especially in like, yo, the way I dress. I'm full on the vintage shit. I don't even do no new shit. I mean, I'm doing everything that my favorites was doing just because I'm trying to carry that shit on, but I'm putting
Yeah.
it on in my own way. You know what I'm saying? I might be putting it, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to put it on in a way that looks like it could still be fly right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's sustainable. Shout out to that. Shout out to thrifting. Shout out to sustainability and
Facts.
clothes. All that
Absolutely.
good shit.
Yeah, eBay,
Yeah.
eBay holds it down.
Yeah. Yeah. All the time. I was talking to a friend recently because they're really into like Pele's, and
Yo,
I was like, where do you get your fucking Pele's from?
I
Like,
got like 6 Pelés in my jacket, most of them from eBay, bro.
damn. Yeah. No,
Six
I
Pelés in my
wanna
excuse me.
no, you're I got this So you ever hear of Lot 29 before? The streetwear that had all the Looney Tunes shit all over it?
Nah, I know Iceberg though with the Looney Tunes.
I remember Iceberg too, but like Lot 29 was like this streetwear company that just put Looney Tunes all over their stuff. I have a Tasmanian Devil like racing jacket. It's like lime green and purple and black and it's got Taz on it. And like I've had that shit since I was in high school and that shit still fits and I've been wearing it more often and it feels great. So like I'm trying to get more shit like that.
Hell yeah, bro. Nah, you I wish you was there on Sunday at Supply and Demand. There was a lot of dope
Me
shit there.
too. I'm so
Yeah, I
mad.
came home with a few pieces. I ain't gonna front on you, my G.
Like I'm mad because like obviously shout out to Top Shelf and all of them. They do incredible work over there, but I couldn't make it this year. I really
No, that's
wanted to, but I just couldn't make
I
it
know.
this year.
Yeah, nah, but Top is my man, yo. Shout out to Mark, yo.
Yeah, bro. And yeah, I'm actually happy you brought that up because that's a nice segue over into this last question, which is like you've made some really big gains this year. Like you've gotten some crazy cosigns. You just I mean like you just did Supply and Demand. You played
Yeah,
SOBs this year. You played your first sold out show in fucking Los Angeles this year.
I did,
Um
man. That's pretty
fucking
cool.
yeah, like
That's pretty cool.
it's been a pretty solid year for you.
Hell yeah.
So just like like things and like things are happening so fast. Like it feels like this is like the perpetual motion machine is just revving right now. So
We
like
got
how
motion.
like yeah, for
Yeah.
real. So like looking at all of this shit and just like like 3 year like 2 3 years ago you were just like 2 or 3 years ago, you had two projects that you were not happy with that you took off the internet and then put out a freestyle and then built off of that.
Pretty much.
So like, and now like 2 3 years later, you're here, you're being managed by fucking Salim and Dante Ross
Yes, sir.
and playing shows all over the country. So just like, like, and just like considering what, like, once again, considering like how young you are, like, and for all of this to be happening so fast, like, have you taken any time to just like sit and like process and like have you like has there been a point, do you feel overwhelmed at all, like are you good,
Yeah,
like like
I try not to at the same time because that's how you gonna get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like if I did that,
right,
I'd be so fucked. Like I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like I'm proud of myself, but I'm also like just to keep it a buck. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not like not rich. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like you know what I mean? Like feels good, but it's not like I'm not anywhere close to where I need to be at. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely
right.
still pushing. You know what I mean? Like I gotta. I'm trying to reach a certain point, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to keep reaching and just keep going up, so it definitely feels awesome and it feels great. And there's definitely shit about it that feels very real and is definitely very it means a lot, you know what I'm saying? And thinking of where I was at a few years ago when I started this shit to where I'm at now, like it definitely is like very crazy, and it's emotional, especially when I'm like thinking about like damn, it's people who I was listening to who now fuck with me and think I'm L, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I DM'd Dante when I was 16 and I had like had those two shitty projects and I was like, yo, you should fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like some shit, you know what I mean? So it means a lot, you know what I mean? But I'm very, very focused, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to put out a lot more music, trying to just keep going. And I don't really even, like I don't even really like I'm just getting started for real. It feels good to be getting started and to be getting love like that, but you know, there's a long way to go for sure.
Yeah, nah, the sky's the limit, bro.
Back.
It's just like like just like going through everything and just like seeing the looks you've gotten. It's just like I said, I took a step back and just like even over the course of a year, I was like, a lot's happened for you in like just a year. And it's like I just had to I just wanted to make sure that you were just like okay, just in
Yeah.
general, because
Look, bro,
because you're like the younger you start, like it can be really easy to get caught up in this and just get like like, you know, like not even so much like burnt out like creatively, but just like
I'm
energy
gonna just
wise.
even be real with you too. Like I kind of was feeling a little burnt out, like to be honest with you. And then when I went to LA and I was out there, um, I really got like a good respark, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel very resparked, you know, since I've gotten back from that trip. I've also been microdosing shrooms
Hey,
every like couple of days, you know, just take and it's really been like, you know, I feel like I'm in a good space creatively and mentally. So I feel very good about that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, like the first month after United Palace came out, like a lot of the music I was writing, I still felt like I was trying to make raps for United Palace. You know what I mean? Like, I was still like attached to that project. You know, so it was good to go get some new life experiences and to go, you know, keep doing ill shit and keep opening my eyes because, you know, that keeps me in the right mental state. You know what I mean? So um yeah, I've been feeling good lately though, man. It feels really good. And I feel like I'm in control. You know what I mean? That's the thing
good,
that feels
good.
good. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm in the driver's seat. So it's good, man.
Yeah, yeah, having control is the most important part, you know, like that's the yeah, it's just so easy to get caught up and just kind of lose the plot in that way. So I'm just nice. It's just nice for me to hear that you've got that and that you've got
Yeah, man.
you you know, you've got people behind you who are like making that happen and giving you and you're like not only giving you guidance but giving you space. Like
Hell yeah.
that's just important to me, you know. But
100%.
yeah,
100%.
bro.
I appreciate that for real, my G.
Of course, bro. Yeah, no, like it's like it's and like that's like I don't know why I just stuttered through all of that. I get excited too. But
And
like, yeah, just
it's
gotta
good.
make
So
just gotta make sure everyone's good. That's all, bro. Like
facts, man.
that's
I appreciate that a lot, my G. It means a lot for real.
of course. And you know, like to formally wrap this up, Sko, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
Ooh, shit, you know. Maybe I can't say yet because we might need to actually make it into a movie. You know what I'm saying? It would just be about my life, day to day shit. You know what I'm saying? Like facts. I just yo, people say all the time they want me and my friends to do kids too. They want like people be like, yo,
Jesus.
y'all like on some kid shit. Nah, not like that though. But like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, I feel you. I get what you mean.
you know what I'm saying? Like so it'll probably be some shit like that. Not as dark though.
Yeah.
Probably like kids and super bad combined. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like some shit like that, like some Big Lebowski shit. Like just some like, you know what I mean? Like as I mentioned earlier, I like taking simple shit and adding a lot of layers to it because that's what life is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's simple, but it's also like there's a lot of complexities. You know what I mean?
Big facts. Yeah, no, like it's I like the fact that you said kids meet super bad because like you like I mean like I feel like no like I'm from Jersey like no tri-state area person who grew up how we grew up hasn't seen kids, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
and like that's like a I don't like if somebody like me even just hearing somebody be like, "Oh, you should make kids." I don't want a kids too, bro. Like that like I love that movie. It's such an important movie like especially like foundationally for me as like a creative, really important movie. I don't want to
but
watch
the
the
thing
next
is,
gener-
bro,
I
the
don't want to
thing
watch
is,
the next generation of kids get hooked on drugs and get AIDS. I don't want that. You know
but like
like
that's the thing is like you know like without the AIDS and the rape, like you know what I mean? There does need to I think be some sort of cultural update, bro. Just because like I feel like there is such a new scene and realm of young kids in New York and making music and all of that that's just going on, and it's like you
yeah.
know, people don't really understand it. Yeah, I mean, like some people still think it's kids. Like some people like still are like,
Right.
wow, these kids are running around like giving each other AIDS and doing like heroin. Like, no, we're not. We're taking Xanax and acid and doing other dumb shit, but not that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah, no, like you know, I definitely agree that it's important to kind of like
but no, I
document that
agree with
stuff.
you. Like every time people say it to me, I'm kind of like, ugh, like you know what I mean. And I get what they mean. They're just like, oh, y'all some wild New York kids. Like that would be cool to see y'all wild out for like an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get it. Like, no, I definitely see that. You know what I mean? And I think we could do it in our own fly way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, like obviously, like you know, like whoever because like we don't know where the next kids is gonna come from, or even if the next kids is ever gonna come. But whoever does it, whoever does it, I just hope it exists within like that lineage and does it in a way that's, I mean, like I wouldn't exactly call a movie like Kids tasteful, but like I would just
Yeah.
hope that it's done in a way that's like thoughtful and has like heart to it, because like that's the reason that Kids still persist to this day, because it's like
Right.
thoughtful and has heart to it, even though it's like really very fucked up, obviously.
Right.
But
No,
like that
and
movie,
again,
it
there's layers
endures, you
to
know?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
hundred
exactly. Like it
percent.
endures.
It makes it more like it's deeper than what it is on the surface. You know what I'm saying? It works for multiple purposes, as you were saying earlier, which is, you know, I think the statement of a good film. You know.
Totally. And I forgot one more thing before we formally sign off. There's this other joint called it was a skating documentary called All the Streets Are Silent that came out 2 years ago. I'm already forgetting who directed it. I'm so mad. Sorry if you're listening, bro. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's this really incredible documentary about just like New York street culture at the time, like
Oh,
basically the culture that basically the culture that birthed Supreme. I mean, like a big chunk of the movie is about like Harold Hunter and just like all like the rap music that was being made at the time, and it's like how like that was intersecting with like the punk music and the skate and like the skate culture, and just like Large Professor did the score. I interviewed him for it for OK Player. Rest in peace. I guess that's so crazy to say, but like big like
Large
go yeah. Large Professor did the score for All the Streets Are Silent. It's crazy.
Professor, but he didn't die though. You just said rest in peace.
Oh no, my fault for OK Player. OK Player, rest in peace.
I was like, what
Large
the
Professor
fuck?
is still alive. My fault.
Yeah,
My
I
fault.
was like, holy shit! I was like, what the fuck? Did I not see something?
No, Large Professor's doing fine. He
Okay.
was just at some show last week.
Yeah, no,
All
I was
love to
like, I
Large,
see
bro.
Large all the
He's good.
time. I'm like, I see Large all the time.
My fault. So Large Professor did the score for All the Streets Are Silent.
That's dope.
Definitely worth watching. Wait. I wanna say the director's name because I'm gonna feel excuse me, Jeremy Elkin. Shout out to
Oh,
Jeremy
that's my
Elkin.
man.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my yo. I just did a photo shoot with him like last week. That's my bro.
No shit. So go watch his movie All the Streets Are Silent. Make that happen.
Okay, awesome. Yo, that's so crazy. I was about to say, um, yo, my man Jeremy Elkin directed some skate movies in the early '90s and shit. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even that's really wild, yo. I literally just did a photo shoot with him like last week, bro.
That's insane. Yeah, nah, like
Yeah,
go.
he's doing like a portrait book of like New York dudes. Like told me he got Spike Lee, he got RZA, he got me, he got some
Oh,
other
that's
people.
hard body.
Hell
Wow.
yeah. Love to be next to Spike Lee and RZA. That's always
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah, no, that's like getting the key to the city. That's crazy.
Hey, you know what I mean? We're getting close, man. You know what I mean?
But fucking yo, Sko, thank you so much for
Hey
being
man,
here.
it was my pleasure, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
Nah, man. Yeah, nah. Like it's been really dope to see you grow and to just like, like just break down these walls and just like, just like bridge things across generations and just like make dope music. So yeah, just congrats and thank
Hell
you
yeah.
for coming to talk bullshit with me. It means a lot.
Always, my G. Thank you, man. Let's run it back sometime.
Hey man. Yeah, no, we might have to make that happen at some point. I think
Yeah,
I think I think we can
yeah.
we can arrange.
For surely, my G. Let's do it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.